3.3 major project 4.Staying focused. At present, I've been researching armour because I'm making the connections between dyslexia and creativity. I see dyslexia as a form of creativity, and the armour aspect is my creativity protects me. So I've been doing some in-depth research into various types of armour, and I didn't get a chance to actually go to an armoury to take photographs, but I was fortunate in 2019 to be able to visit the Wallace collection, where they have an extensive range of armour, chainmail and protective wear, because basically through research I've looked into these constructions through metal and design were used to protect the body as a form of defence during battle. So I'm starting to make the connections with the research and the research that I've been building through knowledge and so forth over the past few units with dyslexia and dyslexia traits, and my own personal traits with emotions and the physical aspects with the issues with academic learning, especially the language side of things. So I've started to reflect and interrogate some of my work, and I've gone back to the idea which my tutor informed me, that she quite liked the simplicity of the thin red line for dyslexia, whereby I'd constructed the French knitted cord and inserted the wire so it became quite sculptural. So, taking this aspect, I have now looked at research with chainmail, and this is a continuing project by where I've knitted some strips which are 14 stitches in width and approximately 50 stitches in length, and these will form a ring. Now with these rings I have started to construct a larger scale piece which is quite simple, quite lengthy in its making, and so far I've produced the width 10 by 10, and I'm going to now keep adding to this through the continuous work that I'm going to be doing with my projects. But as we can see, this piece, which resonates chainmail, has now become a knitted piece, and I had considered going down the garment route or some form of construction. As of yet, I'm not too sure where that will take me, but at the moment I'm quite interested how the construction of the knitted rings stitched together to form a large-scale panel. What I've found is how the product moves, how it contorts, and how it stretches. Now, obviously I will still work with the body as a platform and the body shape using arms and so forth, but I like the idea of how you can just play with the tactility of the knitted materials, and how it's interesting how the piece starts to move and form of its own accord when we explore the construction and the pieces of the knitting. Now, to move this forward, I'm going to continue making the rings. It is a laborious task, quite time consuming, through the construction of the knitted strip, then stitching into a ring, and then adding to this piece. But I think that this will be quite interesting as a large scale piece, just so that it can just drape around the body and it can just kind of be played with. But I think it's also now bringing together research from earlier stages of work, of looking at century textiles, not necessarily colour. I've used grey Aran as my yarn, but I think it's the therapy side of things, of how the armour connection and the ideas of relaxation, exploration and creatively playing with my textiles that can then translate into garments that can still be used around the body, and using the body as a platform.